Greetings, Black Light once again. Talking about the revolution. Won't be televised. Because you got to plan out certain things. And the plan takes place first in your mind. And you got to strategize how you're going to carry out a certain deed because you want it to be successful. So you never do anything out of emotions. And you got to think it out, think it through. And I was just thinking about Brother Khalid getting with the Panthers or forming a new Panther party. But ultimately he died in the process before he could see any kind of positive results. And fast forward to today, things remain the same. Because the Caucasian, he know just about how he got us programmed and about our leaders. You know what type of leaders we got now. That's why in the Bible and in the Quran you see a David, you see a Samson, you see different guys who come to challenge the system. But the system always finds a way to shut them up because these are the brave ones. You know, they're not afraid to speak what's on their minds. But the most successful one I know, who spent almost a lifetime, was doing this, you know, getting freedom and building up an army for his people, a financial base for his people, was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I must study him, no one else. Because every other leaders now that we got, including Minister Farrakhan, to compromise their position. Al Sharpton, you know, Khalid seems to be the only one that didn't go over to the enemy, but mysteriously he died at a young age. Just like you got all these rappers or entertainers dying. Prince, Michael. Every time they speak the truth. And the reason why they get them is because they're in a position to influence masses of black people. You know, they already got a following because of their music and whatever. But when they start telling the truth, they can influence these young ones coming up, and mysteriously they die. If you know any secrets on the system or the Caucasian and his corruption machine, evil machine, they might take you out. So they done got so used to doing this and don't nobody do nothing about it. Mostly everybody figure like, well, I can't do nothing about it. And I don't want to jeopardize myself and my family because, you know, what I say. Reason why I could talk like this is because I don't have any followings. I don't have enough subscribers. You know, I'm no threat. In other words, I can't influence, a lot of people, because I don't really have a gift, a gab. I don't really have that type of charisma to uh, inspire or to spark any kind of fire up under our people to move. I'm laid back, and no one ever knows. Maybe that's how the universe works, because the universe, that's like I'm doing it because I can't help myself. I'm doing this. Something just in me that keeps me on this subject of separation, revolution. But my revolution is a different type of revolution. It's a revolution that's mental. Because I listened to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he was having a spiritual revolution. He said, protect yourself at all times. But he didn't say commits no violence. And the reason how he said we protect ourselves is we speak the truth, but we don't go on their televisions and just call them all out their names. Well, we ain't calling them out their names, but just like Khalid went on, Fid Donahue and Geraldo, and he was out there, on their system talking about it. Well, this YouTube is their system too, right? But the minute you start talking about, killing them, that's when the FBI and the CIA come knocking at your door. And even if you don't have that many followers, or they just shut your stuff down, your YouTube down, saying you teaching hate teachings. So you got to have a new kind of strategy, because if you don't, you'll be in the same position, in the same place 10 generations from now. So the mind is the most powerful weapon it is. I mean, you don't know what you can do with the mind, especially if you unite. Jesus speaks to this. He say, where there's gathered 3 or more, God or Allah is there with you. Jesus was a revolutionary, but everybody think he got, crucified and then rose up again. When you hear him talk now, they don't talk about his resurrection as much as they talk about his crucifixion. So they tell you that he rose again, but he descended into heaven and was waiting for the time to come back. Well, he didn't came back a lot of times, but we didn't recognize. What it was his thoughts or his words, his technique on how to raise the consciousness of his people, so they could defend themselves, and he was showing them a way to fight back. He said, if you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword, but it's another way to fight back. And we haven't yet caught on to that way. So when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, when he died, they found some weak leaders to break it up, because they know that the people didn't internalize, the followers of Elijah Muhammad didn't internalize the real essence of what he was telling the black man about his mind, his brain power. In the next video, we're going to cover that. Show you what you can do with your mind. But you got to be on the same wavelength. You got to be on the same vibration in order to make it work properly. One man can do it, but it'd be better if it was 144,000. This is Black Light.